United Colors of Test Tape. Hello and welcome to another Mr. Betabyte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we have the wonderful SLO1700 by Sony, SLO1700, and you might have seen the previous video on this machine. It's brand new old stock. You can see that it's not even registering on the hours meter yet. It's that young, usage wise. And in this video I'm going to make some test tapes. You can see I've got it playing behind. That's direct from my PC. And you can also see that I've got quite a dark patch there on the left of the screen, which is something I've been a bit concerned about with this this TV, but it is quite old, so we can forgive it. But yeah, so the first thing I need to do is actually check that the hi-fi audio and the linear stereo audio are both going to be recorded. And there's actually a switch underneath the top cover here. There's actually a few switches, which I will go through in a future video, what they all do and how to set them, which will be with the other SLO1700 that I have. That is the sort of very well used machine. You might have seen that in the previous video. So yeah, let's do that, and let's crack on. So from the manual, it talks about switch 701, S701, and basically if you leave it at normal, like it shows here, then you get linear stereo and beta hi-fi stereo recorded from the same inputs. So looking at 701, there it is. So yeah, we'll just leave that in normal. If you put it to AF, it will only record beta hi-fi. So yeah, we want that set to normal. Still just amazed at how clean this machine is. It actually smells new. You can actually smell just how fresh out the factory this is. So yeah, quite amazing. Okay, so I've connected everything up. The TV is now showing the output from my HDMI SCART adapter. So what this does is it takes HDMI, converts it to composite video, has a SCART output. I've had this a few years now, and it's been absolutely solid. It's really, really great. But if it has no inputs, you get color bars. So you can see that it says PAL. It is also NTSC capable. There's a little switch on it, but I can't recommend these highly enough. So if you see these, they are still available with various branding on them. They do work well. So yeah, so next thing is to crack open the laptop and connect it up and see what we can do. Okay, so I've changed the way this is actually connecting to the TV, and I'm actually going through the copy box. So HDMI out here to the TV, but I also have USB to my PC. And yeah, you can see there that I can actually record the results. So what I'm going to do now is crack open some cassettes and get the laptop sorted, and yeah, let's crack on. So the cassettes we're using are Fuji L250s, and you can see here that the L250 is 65 minutes, and it's actually quite interesting to look at the American equivalent of the Betamax cassette, because of course they have Beta 1, 2 and 3. So looking at an L750 for power C-cam, 195 minutes, and in the US, or NTSC, you had 4 hours at beta 3, 30 minutes, and then you had beta 2, which was 3 hours, and beta 1, which was 1 hour, 30 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, beta 3, from what I understand, was really terrible. Maybe you can share experiences with NTSC beta 3 in the comments. It'd be really good to sort of get an idea of what the quality was actually like. But I'm guessing it was pretty much on a par with VHS long play in the UK, Europe. Yeah, it's quite cool. So just doing a quick check before we go and do the recordings. Absolutely beautiful picture, absolutely amazing. That's really a very dark scene. Probably see it better there, but yeah, really, it's just such a lovely machine, and the colours and the quality are just great. Really just superb. So yeah, should be really good for making good test tapes, good honest test tapes that really do have the best vibrance of colour and accuracy with verticals and the black white. So yeah, let's crack on with that. So let's get one of these cassettes out and take a look. Be interested to know if you have any experience with these cassettes, how good they are. I mean, they should be pretty good, and I'm guessing, I mean, a lot of the Fuji cassettes were Sony cassettes just rebadged, or at least the tape itself was Sony, so I don't know, maybe wrong, but yeah. If you know any more, let me know in the comments. So let's put it in. Super. And let's connect up the laptop and get recording. So that's 3 cassettes down already, and just finishing the 4th one. It's just coming to the end. They're about an hour long. They're 65 minutes, as I've said before, and you see the test card there. There's some quite dark patches on that LG. The test tape, basically, there is nothing particularly scientific about it. I do have genuine Sony test tapes, and I have 3 in all, but I don't like using them unless I'm 100% confident on the machine, and yet sometimes it's useful to have a test tape with test patterns and tones on, to be able to diagnose issues on a machine that you don't necessarily want to get 100% mechanically sorted first, if that makes sense. It works, but you want to sort the electronics out first, see if there's any horrors there. So I'm sort of hoping this will help sort of just enable me to repair machines a little bit quicker, maybe. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if these tapes do get a bit damaged. I can splice and repair them. They're long enough. The test card patterns actually are duplicated, so you get each one twice through the cassette. The color bars one is actually exactly the same. Apart from, obviously, it's not calibrated and hasn't got necessarily the right audio level, but the tone is right-ish. Again, it tests okay on the scope, but you know, it's not professional by any way, shape, or means. But using a brand new old stock machine, it's really a best effort. So I'm really very, very pleased to be able to do them, to be honest. So yeah, I suppose the next thing is just to test the latest one and see what it's like. So basically how I've done this, I've got the laptop running Linux Mint, and I've copied over the test tape video, which you can see there. I will make this available on YouTube, so this will be uploaded sort of an hour before, or be live then, an hour before this video is available. So if you're watching this now, you can have a look at the test tape video. This laptop's great actually because it's got VGA and it's also got HDMI. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't know whether you use both at once. I assume you can. And then we've got this great flat HDMI cable, which is probably not the greatest quality. Then a brand new pinch holder. Then we've got the HDMI to SCART, which goes into the back of the SLO1700, and obviously coming through there, and then out to my copy box. And what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to just show you what the input and the output look like. So the inputs, which you see there, but you'll see it's captured, and then I'll play back the same segments from there, so you can actually see the difference between the original and the recording, and it's interesting actually to see that. So we'll do that next, but yeah, just waiting for it to finish. The other thing I'm noticing, of course, is this machine is just getting better and better. It was a little bit creaky when I first started it, and I will say even now you can hear lacing. It's still a little bit on the stiff side, obviously being sat, not used for so long, but the more it's used, the more it just sort of is loosening up and working really well. It runs pretty cool as well, which is a really good sign that the power supply is good. I think there's been a little bit of reforming of caps, because again this machine's barely been used. It has been used, but really 0 hours really. So I'm really glad to sort of have sort of a project like this to use this for and test it at the same time. It just makes a lot of sense, and it means that I'm happy for it to go to its new owner. I know it's 100% solid, and yeah, fantastic. So it's just finished, so let's do the fast rewind. It really is pretty quick. I mean, the downside is obviously it has to unlace first, and then it laces back up to finish off the cassette wind. But it's cool, and you can hear the deck is really good. It's so nice to hear. It's typical C9 deck sound as well. Okay, so let's press play. Focus is terrible. I'm sorry about that. So at the beginning of the tape's never wonderful. Let's wind it on a bit. So there it is. The red in particular is just absolutely fantastic. So vibrant. Tiny bit of noise there, but on the chroma, but it's really good, and there's very little bleeding. I mean, you do get some, but yeah. So let's actually compare it. Let's take some screenshots. Okay, so here's the color bars output from the laptop, and yeah, it's nice and crisp and lovely. And if I just press, that's 400 hertz, by the way, the sine wave. So if I now press play, and that's it playing back. And I don't think that's half bad. So yeah, really good colours, really. I mean, they're soft, which you'd expect, but it's really not bad at all. Very pleased with that. On the meters, you'll see slightly lower. This is actually the analog stereo. No, that's beta. The analog stereo is actually quite different because it's -5 dB recorded on both audio, both linear audio and hi-fi stereo. So linear stereo as well. But you can see the hi-fi is much more faithful. It's just ever so slightly lower on playback. I have checked the head voltage as well. It's actually set to 1. I think there's 10 clicks to change the voltage for the beta hi-fi side of it. Record current, I think it is. Yes, record current. And I've just left it at 1 because it's right. So yeah, I don't know. Obviously it's an FM at the end of the day, so yeah. See little tiny bits of dust they keep knocking off. So yeah, it's I'm really very, very pleased with with the machine, to be honest, and my tapes. I think what we'll do next is we'll just put in the Sony tape actually and just see what that looks like. So yeah, let's do that next. Okay, so let's put the alignment tape KR5-10C in, Sony alignment tape from the Sony case. I've got quite a few bits and pieces in there, as you already know if you've seen my previous videos. So this is color bars, 400 hertz, same as what I've got on my test tape. So let's take a look at that. So here we go. This is the test tape. You can actually see that the red in particular just isn't quite as good. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty good reproduction. On the Tanny on the cassette, you might remember seeing there was just one cross. I think it's probably been used a bit more than that. But this is getting quite old now, this cassette. So it is PAL Beta Hi-Fi. It's not half bad. Let's try the tracking. So tracking, that's furthest left. Tracking furthest right. You can see it's just starting to break up a little bit, but my goodness, it's lovely. It's really great. What's interesting is it's actually -1 dB on the meters. So yeah, that's sort of interesting because it's supposed to not be. I think. It doesn't say. Doesn't actually say. So it's -1 dB on here. Of course, I'm not doing it at -1 dB, so maybe I ought to. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just can't get over this machine. Honestly, it's just absolutely wonderful. So yeah, let's crack on and do some more cassettes. Okay, so I've decided, let's just press record, to record this cassette at -1 dB, and of course it's not an exact science. It's just I mean, ultimately I've played the Sony one, and the meter deflection was to about -1. So I've done this to -1. So that's beta hi-fi. That is analog. You can see there's very little difference. You've actually got two separate levels. So you've got beta hi-fi at the top, and you've got normal linear stereo below that. Obviously got phones. And then you have got options of beta noise reduction and a limiter, but yeah, that's cool. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this one. A little bit of a different one. I possibly might sell some of these cassettes. I don't know whether anybody would be interested in them at all. And I need to get some labels sorted and some cases sorted, because they are actually, you know, how the cassettes came. It's just wrapped in plastic with end caps, which I didn't realise actually. I thought they were in clear plastic sleeves. But hey ho, obviously for promotional use type videos. But yeah, so a few more bits and pieces to come on the SLO1700. This machine, once I've finished these cassettes and just given it one final check through, will be going to its new owner. I really hope you enjoy it, Kevin. It's a fantastic machine, and I'm finding it very hard to part with it, I have to say, but I know it's going to a very great home and a very deserving new owner. But we have got the other one, which, like I say, is a high hours machine. Be interested to see what they're like at that age. So with that, please like and subscribe. Subscribe especially, please. It would be absolutely fantastic. Really starting to get some decent numbers on the subscriptions, and it would just be so great, you know, to sort of get to over the 1,000 marker. And because I've got so many more videos to do, but I don't necessarily have that much time to do them. So, you know, I can commit more time if you know, if we get over the 1,000. So we'll see. Anyway, I have a lot of good ideas. Maybe probably hate them, but yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and see you in another video. Bye for now.